Good morning, vinyl community. How you doing? It's David Michael. It's as it always seems to be. It's very early on a Monday morning. Good morning. As you can see, I went for the small coffee. That's the kind of morning it's been. Since my last video, I think I've only gone out once to the thrift stores. Nothing new has arrived. I'm waiting for stuff this week from Amazon and eBay and so and so. So this will probably be a shorter video than most. So good morning. This comprises, like I said, I went out once, and within that little trip we made, I think we did 3 thrift stores, and 2 I found stuff. So this first lot will be from the first thrift store that I found stuff at. I found a copy of Kate Bush Lionheart. This is on Harvest Records from Canada. It's the nice embossed sleeve. I'm not sure if they were all embossed, so that could have been nothing big. But nice clean copy of Kate Bush Lionheart. I found an upgrade of Paul Kantner and Grace Slick Sunfighter. This one, when I was spin cleaning it, I'll show you what I found, or what I found out about the vinyl. But this one has all the inserts. It has the book that came with it. Here's the book, and it's got the insert in it that came with them. The other copy I have isn't the gatefold, which was kind of like, that was that sealed the deal to pick this one up, and the vinyl's nicer than my current one. But when I was spin cleaning it, what I wanted to show you is this is possibly the thinnest vinyl I've ever seen in my life. And trust me, I'm not wrecking it by doing this, because it's like you could almost see right through it. And I know RCA had their Dynaflex vinyl that were super thin like this. And from what I read about the Dynaflex presses, they were an attempt to save money, but they kind of spun it as a new kind of vinyl that wouldn't warp. But really, they were just trying to save some money on pressing thinner vinyl. I think this is possibly even thinner than the Dynaflex RCA issues. And this is oddly enough on RCA as well. But we'll see how it sounds. I actually haven't played it. It's visually, it's an upgrade for sure. I found, tied in with that one, I found a copy of Jefferson Starship Dragonfly. Now, Jefferson Starship is one of those kind of guilty pleasures. Not Starship. That's a whole other thing. But Jefferson Starship, they're kind of, you know, they're all right by me. Maybe memories of growing up, hearing them on the radio. So this was a quadra disc copy, the 4-channel. And oddly, I do have a 4-channel amp sitting over there. That, you know what, and I don't think I've ever played that, it's a Kenwood amp, and I don't think I've ever played that amp with a 4-channel record. So maybe this will be the first attempt at it. Continuing on with the Jefferson Starship vibe, I found a copy of Winds of Change. I didn't have this one. I don't think this is their greatest record ever, but $1.99. I found a copy of Return to Forever, Chick Corea, Bill Connors, Dan Clark, Lenny White. I think we're all familiar with this album. And I don't know if I owned this one previously. I'm thinking I haven't. I found a sealed copy of Dead or Alive, Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. This sticker might be of interest to Canadian folks, because you'll probably remember these stickers from an old record store called A&A. That is no longer in Canada. But Pete Burns, some of you might know, he died a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I quite like Dead or Alive. This might only be of interest for Canadians, but even within that, it might be only of interest to Western Canadians, and then to kind of shorten that even more, this might be only of interest to people from my city, Edmonton. This was a band called Darkroom. In Darkroom, they were signed to Warner in Canada, and they were at one point kind of primed and purported to be the kind of the next big thing. in that whole 80s, I don't know if it was a new wave thing, but their music was definitely a bit darker. But I found another copy of Sam Paku. I think almost all the copies of Darkroom albums, even though they were on Warner Music, I think most of them were sold in Edmonton, because I do find this all the time. And whenever I see it for $1, $1.99, I pick it up, because a lot of my friends are always kind of looking for Darkroom albums. They do semi-frequent reunion shows in Edmonton that are super well attended and sold out, and I've been lucky enough the last couple of times to have been asked to DJ those concerts, and that's been a real privilege. Darkroom has been like it's been kind of been a constant in my life, as a great memory from when I was young. So like I said, whenever I see nice copies of Darkroom, it's not, I wouldn't say it's in any ways pop. It's very dark. It's very kind of in line with maybe New Order and Cure and stuff like that. And maybe that's why they didn't kind of translate well in the age of, if you're in Canada, Platinum Blonde and Images in Vogue, and then on the bigger scale with, you know, Duran Duran and bands like that. So that's my way too long spiel about Darkroom. I found a couple Wishbone Ash albums. I didn't have this one before, and it's a nice copy on Decca in a nice gatefold sleeve. So I found that in that same haul. Excited about that. I did have this one, but this one is a definite upgrade. Pilgrimage. And that was it from that first haul I got at the thrift store. This was the second haul, and it's all one band. And that one band is Blue Oyster Cult. I think someone dumped most of their Blue Oyster Cult albums at a Goodwill, because I found a few of them. Some of them I have, and some of them are upgrades, and a couple I didn't have. So I found a copy of, I believe, the first one. I found a copy of Extraterrestrial Live. Found a copy of The Revolution by Night. Not one of my favorite Blue Oyster Cult albums, but if you're going to have it, a collection of Blue Oyster Cult, might as well have them all. I found a copy of Tyranny and Mutation. A copy of Spectres. Not in the best condition in the cover, but the vinyl's nice. And I found a copy of Some Enchanted Evening. Once again, look coverware. Vinyl plays nice. And finally, this will be the last one I'll be showing you today, is Cultosaurus erectus. Now I have an autographed copy of this on CD. They played, I'll preface what I'm saying, but whenever I travel around Europe or United States or anywhere, and I say I'm from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, one of two things kind of come up. One is Wayne Gretzky, so that kind of tells me how Wayne Gretzky, the hockey player, kind of transcended hockey, because I get asked about that all around Europe and everywhere. And the other thing is West Edmonton Mall. West Edmonton Mall at one point was the biggest mall in the world, and it has since been eclipsed several times over. But Blue Oyster Cult was playing in West Edmonton Mall. There's several bars and roadhouses in West Edmonton Mall, and they were playing a country bar. So I don't think it was the peak of their popularity. And me and some friends went to the show, and before the show we went to eat at an adjoining restaurant, and there was Eric Bloom and Donald Buck Dharma. And I waited till they were done. I was trying to be as polite as possible. And whenever I go to smaller shows, if I have some CD covers, I'll stick them in my pocket. And in the event you meet, you happen to bump into them, and I bumped into Eric Bloom and Donald Buck Dharma. After they were done their meal, they were really nice and signed my CDs. I think Eric was a little bit more talkative than Donald, but that was nice. So, yeah, seeing them at a country bar in West Edmonton Mall, I don't think it was their finest moment, but there you go. Anyways, so that was the two little mini hauls I had since my last video. Like I already said, I'm waiting for some stuff from the mailman today, tomorrow, and some stuff from eBay, which I'll be looking forward to showing you. I made a concerted effort this weekend to watch a lot of videos of people that I subscribe to, people who subscribe to me. During the week, sometimes it's a bit harder because I can film the videos I do, and sometimes I can spin some vinyl, and I'm still doing a lot of bed rest, and it gets exhausting for me. But this weekend, I had some time, and I watched a lot of your finds, and some amazing stuff that people are finding, and it's really nice. I don't get really jealous a whole lot. I get really kind of happy that a lot of people are having great finds like I'm having. So keep up the great videos, and you know, getting out there and putting in the legwork is half the battle. So it's nice to see everyone getting out there and finding some great stuff. So with that, if you're watching this, thank you once again. I really do appreciate it. So David Michael from the vinyl community, have a great rest of the week.